What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to another Pittsburgh Pirates franchise. We are bringing you catch number 22, episode number 22 of our Pittsburgh Pirates franchise on MLB The Show 21. With that being said, guys, we are here officially at the All-Star break, and if you guys did miss last episode, you guys will check out the last series that we did end up playing against the Mets. And if you do like today's video, be sure to leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe for more amazing content, because only you can make a difference for today's channel, so your support is always greatly appreciated. And with that being said, guys, the Pittsburgh Pirates currently sitting at 42-48. That's good enough for 3 games back for the first place Brewers. We are currently on a 1-game winning streak coming off the game against the New York Mets in the last video, although we are currently 3-7 in our last 10 games. Looking okay in the division, only 1 game below positive. We are currently 18-19 on that, so things are looking pretty decent for the 4-1-2 heading into this one. Nothing too really out of the ordinary. We're trying to make a competitive team. The Cardinals have been definitely down on their luck as well. And one thing that we really wanted to talk about is the wild card. Now, we currently have a very, very competitive division. For those of you guys that do know the NL Central, you guys know that there's usually at least 1 to 2, even 3 teams almost always competing for this division, and that is not any farther from the truth than this series that we have been doing. As you can currently see, the Cubs-Reds are currently right above us. Reds are currently sitting only a half game above us, and the Cubs sitting 1 game above us in the wild card race. Although we are 6.5 out of the wild card race, we are trying to chase the San Diego Padres and more or less the Colorado Rockies. It's kind of looking like San Diego's probably going to be the team that whatever team clinches the secondary wild card spot, that's who we're going to be facing. It seems like the Padres are going to be the team, and no surprise there, as the LA Dodgers have been absolutely owning the National League West, so that is definitely something to talk about. But with that being said, guys, we're going to kind of talk about the rest of the updates in the videos in this one. This is the All-Star break. There's not really going to be too much game footage. There's not going to be really any at all. We're going to be breaking down the team stats, the players, who you guys should be looking out for in the future videos to come. Going to be talking about a couple trade proposals, and that's right, we got a couple heavy trade proposals. So if you guys are excited, it is that trade deadline season, and that is no short task, as we were able to acquire some pretty big guys, but we are not going to get into those just yet. We're going to save that for towards the end of the video, maybe a little bit in between. We will see. You guys will just have to watch and find out. And with that being said, guys, let's get right into the breakdown. And now moving things along into the breakdown portion, we are at the halfway mark, so we are going to be talking about a couple players. One of the players has been Kevin Newman. Kevin Newman has been absolutely phenomenal for us so far. A 281 average, 30 RBIs and 6 home runs, not to mention he's on 97 hits. That currently is tied with Mookie Betts in hits for 7th place. 97 hits, definitely something. On top of those league leaders, we also have players like Nick Castellanos, Justin Turner, Tommy Pham, Juan Soto, and Eric Hosmer, all cracking already over 100 marks. So Kevin Newman not doing too bad himself. Not to mention this one kind of a little bit of a minor one, but Newman also is 3rd in at-bats. So we've really been playing a lot of Kevin Newman's bat. He's been a very good player to note. So it's really good to kind of see Kevin Newman come to form, come to shape. This is definitely a player that we needed to have a nice breakout season if we wanted to even have a chance of competing. We know he's a guy capable of hitting 300. Hopefully he can have a better average even than the 281. Not that a 281 is bad, but we definitely want to see him do a little bit better, and that is what we have on Kevin Newman for now. And we've got a lot of rosters to break down and a lot of players to talk about. Brian Reynolds, another player that we're pretty happy. He's batting a .277 with a .774 OPS. The home run power has definitely been nice. We've seen Brian Reynolds kind of bust out. He has 9 home runs currently. The strikeout numbers about there. I mean, he's staying right about the same player that he has been. We're not going to count the 2020 season. I really pretty much count that one as a moot point. So it's good to see Brian Reynolds right about on par where he needs to be. And while talking about Brian Reynolds, it is also worth noting that he is currently tied for 6th place in doubles at 23 doubles with Trevor Story. And again, Nicholas Castellanos is going to top out at that list. He is having an absolutely phenomenal season from himself. And diving into the fun of it, Neil Walker is currently the guy we're going to be talking about. Neil Walker having an absolutely amazing season. Number 18 has 18 home runs on the season, tying that jersey number with a .261 average and on-base percentage at over the 350 mark and a slugging well over 500, sitting at a 531, cracking that OPS at an 889. He has been an absolute tear pretty much everywhere. He's been playing a lot of second base, left field. That's pretty much been his main utility. Neil Walker was also Polanco voted into the All-Star game. So that guy was because of all of you guys commenting down below, really enabling and allowing Neil Walker to become a part of this All-Star game in his Pittsburgh Pirates send-off. So an amazing thing. He was a bench player, but regardless, a good enough season to allow Neil Walker to what is potentially going to be his final season in a Pittsburgh Pirates uniform or a uniform in general. We do know that he retired in real life, so it is good to see that Neil Walker is sending things out on a good note in the 4-1-2. And cracking into Gregory Polanco, there's really not too much to say about Polanco. This is pretty much what we expected. He is crushing righties. I wouldn't say crushing righties, but he's having around like a 260 average against righties. Most of the pop is coming from that right side, so it's really where Polanco's shining. He's pretty much going to be a nice pinch hit bat. That's really where I see him. He is also right behind Neil Walker in home runs currently on the team, a 755 average. He's not really a guy that is honestly blowing me out and insanely impressing me. He's never been one of those guys for me. So hopefully Polanco can keep the consistency, keep the power. I don't really see him hanging around the team come the offseason. I think we can find better pieces in the free agency. He really didn't have a lot of trade value trying to trade him away, so we ended up holding on to him. He has more value on the team with us trying to make this playoff push. So that's pretty much all I can really say about Gregory Polanco. Also 69 hits. That's nice. And now moving into the prodigy son of Pittsburgh, Ke'Bryan Hayes, young Hayes, having quite an okay season. Definitely not the phenomenal rookie campaign season that he had in the 2020 season in the 85 at-bats that he had, slugging that 376, an absolutely nuts 2020 season, the COVID season for Ke'Bryan Hayes. But so far in the 2021 season, he has 300 at-bats, sitting at a 263. The OPS still not horrible at a 764. Would like to see a little more of the home run pace, trying to get around a 2020 season, 20 home runs, 20 stolen bases for Ke'Bryan Hayes at the end of the season. He's kind of lacking on the stolen base department and honestly in the home run department. Hopefully the second half he can pick that up, find a little more of the home run stride. Maybe he's not really much of a home run hitter, but I want to see this guy be a little more of a five-tool player. We know Hayes is an splendid defender, always going to have a chance to win a Gold Glove, even maybe beat Nolan Arenado out of one of those in St. Louis for the NL Central race. So we will see what Ke'Bryan Hayes can bring after the All-Star. And moving on to the next batter of the day, that is Colin Moran at the All-Star break. Colin Moran slashing a 241, a 302 on-base percentage at a 374 slugging. That is good enough for an OPS at 676. Definitely not what you want to see out of Colin Moran. Really has not been the most spectacular first baseman. I know he's pretty much primarily a third baseman, then they shifted him to first base. He's been doing okay. He's hurt in real life. Whole bunch of things going on with Colin Moran. Really, I just was expecting this guy to be a little more power, provide for us a little more. He's really hovering around that 240 area. I think he's really only going to be good for about a 260, 240 hitter in his actual franchise. So he's definitely a guy that I just really haven't been the most impressed with. Hopefully he can continue as the season progresses. And we have two Fraziers on the team. The first one we're going to be talking about, that is the Todd father, our pinch hit wizard. That is Todd Frazier, currently 5 home runs on 16 RBIs, 10 walks, only 19 strikeouts. So it's nice to see that the strikeout number is definitely down for the aging Todd Frazier, hitting 244 with a 779 OPS. Really can't complain about a bench bat off the bench. Todd Frazier been pretty solid. Also a DH, plays a little bit of first base. We have not gave him a chance at third base. Todd Frazier is not going to be touching that portion of the diamond in this franchise. And my Murphy, what a season John Ryan Murphy has been having for the Pittsburgh Pirates. In only 84 at-bats, he's already got 7 home runs. He's also walked 7 times, so about every time he's hitting a home run, you better expect him to walk. Vice versa, does have 24 strikeouts, which could be a problem heading into the season later down the road. Slugging out of 500 and an OPS nearly scratching in at 800. John Ryan Murphy has been quite an impressive batter. I know he was slugging or hitting around like a 300 average in AAA. That has obviously simmered down, but the power has stayed, so hopefully this 29-year-old right-handed catcher, 3 years Major League service, maybe can hang around a little bit because we're going to be talking about a couple players that have been struggling as of late. And the first passenger aboard the struggle bus is going to be Brian Goodwin. Goodwin, since coming off the injury, really hasn't done much. He's only batting a 209 at a 738 OPS with 6 home runs. The home run power, again, has been there. Yes, I know you can say that is good, but really for what Brian Goodwin is, I was hoping he could maybe be a little more of a high average hitter, maybe have that 2019 season that he had in LA where he hit 262, 17 home runs with almost a 796 OPS. That was kind of what I was hoping for. Unfortunately, it does not seem that Goodwin's going to be that. So right now, he's pretty much just another outfielder until we can have a player developed or find someone that can be a better outfielder spot for us. And next batter of the day is Wilmer Difo, hitting a 270 average. Difo pretty much just a hits machine, pretty much the secondary bench middle infielder. Been pretty good, but, again, switch hitting second baseman, whole lot of them. We currently have like 3 switch hitters on our team. Difo has been a pretty good pinch hit bat, really good against lefties. Not too much to say about Difo besides that. Next member of the black and gold is Diego Flores, the A potential rookie, getting called up, currently sitting at a 69 overall. Nice. And he's got 44 at-bats, 14 hits, and 4 of those 14 hits have been over the wall. Talking about extra bases, really besides the 4 home runs and the 1 triple, he hasn't really been hitting for extra bases, but the slugging is over 600, the OPS over 1,000. The guy's been playing a very good baseball. He does have 8 strikeouts in the 44 at-bats, but for the power that's been there, he's been a splendid player to watch. Hopefully this rookie prospect can have more ABs and really get more of a chance to kind of develop in the major leagues, because I think we got something special in Diego Flores. And we are ending this off with the last player to be getting on the struggle bus, and that is Jacob Stallings. He's got in 239 at-bats, just a 218 average, the worst OPS out of all of the position players that do qualify. That is a 564 OPS. Not looking real good for Jacob Stallings. Pretty much since the beginning of the season in April, he was off to a hot start, and since then has absolutely cooled down. I don't know if it was the pressure of John Ryan Murphy getting called up, because no one was getting threatened by Michael Perez. Murphy has been putting him over the wall, has been playing much better offense. So if you guys have noticed in the last couple episodes that John Ryan Murphy has got a lot more opportunities, and this is absolutely why. Again, the potential's dropping, the overall is dropping, and Stallings pretty much completely is dropping. The 31-year-old, don't really know what to do with him. His defense is still absolutely phenomenal, out of this world, so it's kind of a key piece to maybe hold on to him. So you guys let me know down in the comments below what you think we should do with Jacob Stallings. And hopefully you guys like pitching, because we are going to be breaking down into the pitching aspect of things. First guy that we're going to be talking about, that is Framber Valdez. And Valdez, since getting acquired from the Houston Astros, has not really been the great. You're going to see in 109 innings, the man has walked 62 batters. That is absolutely horrible. He's been letting up a lot of hits as well. 92 strikeouts is not going to save the fact that he's walking a lot of guys. The ERA just over a 4, sitting at a 4.21, and then the whip at an astronomical 1.65, so definitely needs to clean some things up. Framber Valdez, I do believe in him though, and hopefully he can shape things around coming into the second half of this season. In this next batter, he's got ice cool veins. That is Chad Kuhl. At 109 innings, I was allowed 104 hits. Currently 10 home runs let up off the long ball, so not really letting up too many home runs. The ERA looking pretty nice at a 3.30. The whip also under a 1.3 at a 1.29. So Chad Kuhl's also been a pretty nice sleeper guy out of the rotation. Really hasn't been a guy that we've been talking about too much, but I did want to give my condolences and my respect to Chad Kuhl, because he has really been a guy that's been holding down this rotation and really been well. He really hasn't been getting injured. The curveball's been looking good. The slider's been looking good. The sinker pretty much buries it every single time. Really fun guy to pitch with. Chad Kuhl has been spectacular this season, to say the least, and is definitely deserving to get some hype and a little bit of recognition in this All-Star breakdown. And Mr. Tyler Anderson, the next guy we're going to be talking about, in 108.2 innings. The man is sitting at a ERA just over 4 at a 4.06, but that whip is looking damn sexy at a 1.18, not walking anybody. Tyler Anderson has been quite phenomenal in that spectacle. This guy really does not walk a whole lot of people. Anderson pretty much is just one of those guys you're going to be seeing here, currently tied with Walker Buehler in walks, so that's something that is great to see out of him. Not to mention as well, along with the walks, he's been fielding the ball very well too. He is sitting atop of the voting in the Gold Glove Award, so hopefully Tyler Anderson can clean that up. So he's got a lot of stuff going for him. I thought about selling him, still kind of up in the air. You guys let me know what we should do. I think we should keep him personally, maybe sign him. He's been a solid pitcher for us, and those guys are kind of hard to come by. Not everybody can be consistent, and Anderson has proved that he can be consistent. So hopefully we can keep him along for a longer time in this season. Moving on to JT Brubaker, not a whole lot of good things to say about Brubaker in 62 and 2/3 innings. He's let up 77 hits on 32 earned runs, 4 home runs allowed, so that is the one good side. He's not letting up too many home runs, not walking a lot of people, but he's also not striking people out. The whip is sitting over a 1.5, not something that you really want to be seeing, and that ERA spiked at a 4.60, so not the best things to see out of JT Brubaker. Hopefully he can be good, but really he's just been that 6th guy in the rotation, long reliever type role. Not really a lot to be saying about JT. And taking a look and breaking down Mitch Keller. Mitch Keller has been one of those guys that I think has a lot more upside than he does downside so far in this season. Hasn't been anything crazy out there, but I do think he is primed to have a breakout season. He is 4-8 in his 18 games that he started. In the 91 innings, he's let up 98 hits, a lot of earned runs in 46 earned runs, letting up a couple home runs in 13, walking more people than we would like him to with 30 walks, 89 strikeouts, so almost averaging a strikeout an inning. ERA spiked at a 4.55, and then the whip at the 1.41, so he's looking like a little bit of a lesser JT Brubaker ideally, but we want him to be a really big strikeout guy. I think he could be an ace of the rotation. Hopefully he can build around some of these other younger guys that we're going to be bringing up. So with that being said, Mitch Keller looking to have a lot of eyes on him. Hopefully he can kind of clean his act up and maybe become a contending pitcher. And time to break down some of the relievers. We're going to try to kind of roll into these ones relatively quickly so we can get into some other things in the video. So Steven Brault currently sitting at 80 and 2/3 innings. He is currently sitting at a 4.24 ERA. Brault, again, long reliever, not really much to talk about. Decent lefty, though. Nice guy to rely on as a lefty. That is Steven Brault. And diving right into the heavy throwing, Josh Staumont. Staumont has had his struggles, but has proven since then that he has settled down in 53 innings. He's got 55 strikeouts, an ERA just above a 3, and the whip at a 1.26 respectfully. Josh Staumont working his way to even maybe kind of move into that setup closer role. We guys know, and we'll talk about it here in a second, Richard Rodriguez has been struggling, so a lot of options out there in the closer's role, and Staumont definitely looking to be the guy that could fit the puzzle. And we've had the chance to talk about this guy all day long. That is Kyle Crick, sitting at a 1.29 ERA in 42 innings solid on the 38 strikeouts and a .81 whip. That is insane. Kyle Crick, again, another guy that could be taking over that Richard Rodriguez closer role sooner than later. As bullpen piece that we're going to be talking about, we're not going to break down the other guys because they either just don't have that many innings or they're not really too much to be talking about. People like Sam Howard, Alcala, Davis, those guys just really don't have too many innings. I can tell you that Davis is doing good. Feliz has been okay. Richard Rodriguez, as you can see, the ERA absolutely spiked there, but the whip also pretty good still. So really, it's a kind of a toss-up. He's either absolutely amazing or he's going to let up 5 runs. He's done that like twice this season, so is that worth getting rid of him? Is that worth selling him? I don't really think so. I'm hoping Rodriguez can be solid and kind of move into a better role. So currently he's not going to be the closer. We're going to give a chance for Crick, I think, in a couple games here. So we're going to see how that works. Hopefully Richard Rodriguez can kind of find a better suitable spot in the bullpen outside of the closing role. Moving into the AAA, the minor leagues, we got the Indianapolis Indians, couple players to cover. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players, 6 minor leaguers that I want to talk about. First one being Jaijuan Bay, the hits machine. This guy started out in AA. That was obviously a mistake. Did not work out in AA because he was blowing the cover off the ball. Moved him up to AAA, currently hitting .331 and 127 at-bats. So again, still hitting the cover off the ball. Really good fielder. This guy is shoving, and I mean shoving, for a chance to play in the major league level. He's only 20 years old, so it's a little bit of a scary thing, but I think the guy's ready. I think he's pretty much there. This guy is definitely the closest thing that we have to being another MLB-ready prospect to be calling up, like Diego Flores. Even Flores, might have a little skits of being sent down, so that could be whenever we could see Jaijuan Bay or injuries happen, but this is definitely a guy that you guys need to remember his name, keep a lookout for. Hopefully he can break out in a big way at the major league level. And we seen him earlier in the major league season. ONeil Cruz only had a couple major league at-bats, a couple pinch running appearances early in the season. He has not been providing really the most absolute best offense as a middle infielder in AAA, only hitting a 254 with a 748 OPS. That's still pretty decent, still has some power, swiping a couple bags, but there's just so much depth, and with what Jaijuan Bay has done, I think ONeil Cruz's time has been kind of limited, and it's really kind of making things hard to do in the minor leagues, so we might have to kind of work out a trade for ONeil Cruz. And a little bit of an update about another one of the top prospects in the organization, that's Travis Swaggerty. He, again, a guy that's pretty much been playing a little bit down on his luck. Only an OPS at a 685. We'd like to see at least a 750 out of him before we even think about maybe calling him up. He's 22 years old, still a little bit of time to develop. 64 overall. The guy's going to see his at-bats. He's going to see a lot of major league time. This is not a guy that I really want to rush. This is a potential fourth outfielder, even a third starting left fielder. I don't see him in center. I see him as a corner outfielder, probably left field with Reynolds moving to center, playing a nice center field lately. So I think that's where we kind of see Swaggerty. You guys let me know if you guys have other ideas, but I think Swaggerty is going to be a guy that we're going to try to hold on to, and hopefully he doesn't bust for us. And let's find out what's popping in AAA, and that's Sean Poppin. Sean has been throwing great baseball lately in 90 and 2/3 innings. He's got 80 strikeouts, having that ERA hover below 3 at a 2.88, and the whip hanging out at a 1.30. Sean Poppin, since getting sent down to AAA, has been pretty solid and pretty much been a borderline guy to call up, thinking he's more of a reliever than he is a starter, but he has been starting in the major league level, or in the AAA level, and he's been doing good, so maybe he'll be getting a couple spot starts, kind of see him like a Steven Brault-esque, a little bit of that area, even Brubaker, what he's been picking up, but right now that spot is filled in the major league level. And the fifth and final guy that we are going to be talking about, that is We Want to Win Quinn Priester. He's sitting at a 1-2 slash line in 22 1/3 innings. He's currently the long reliever, but he's getting some spot starts and a couple things like that at the AAA level. He's only 19. He's spinning it in the 22 1/3 innings. He's got 18 strikeouts, has not let up a home run, has let up 24 hits, so the whip is jumped up at a 1.34, but the ERA looking good, and hopefully Priester can continue this because he could be an absolute gem of a find and maybe even kind of fit into that fifth rotation spot later into the season, or probably at the beginning of the 2021-2022 season. And as promised, we have a couple trades to be breaking down. The first one, we are going to be sending things to our trade buddies in New York. That is the New York Yankees, and we are going to be acquiring a relief pitcher from them. That is right-handed pitcher Jonathan Loaizaga. He has been a pretty solid guy for them so far. You're seeing right now he's currently at 61 innings thrown. He's got 55 strikeouts, sitting at a 3.69 ERA, currently 4-0 on the season. He's been kind of working as that long reliever. He's had a couple good starts. He's had a couple games started. So Loaizaga, a lot of versatility. He is going to be acquired. Pretty decent trade, I think. A nice guy to acquire. We ended up sending JT Brubaker and relief pitcher, the lefty, Chasen Shreve, to the New York Yankees. So Shreve is going to be getting some action in New York, and JT is going to have to shave that beard as he's going over to the Pinstripes. And the final trade at the deadline, this one a big one. Colin Moran, ONeil Cruz, and Andrew Susac all going to Cleveland, Ohio, as they're going to be playing for the Cleveland Indians as the Pittsburgh Pirates acquire starting pitcher Tristan McKee and right fielder Framber Reyes. The Franimal is coming to the Berg. The 4-1-2 just got a little more powerful as Framber Reyes is acquired. Looking at the stats right now, he has not been the best player, but has not been the best offensive player, but we guys do know the capability, the pure powerness of Framber Reyes, and I'm not going to lie, we had to give up a decent bit. We had to give up top prospect ONeil Cruz, first baseman Colin Moran, and a backup catcher in Andrew Susac that was in the minor leagues. He is currently a nice guy to have on the team, though, ending his last contract. He's going to enter into arbitration. We got him team controlled in those arbitration years for 3 more years. Framber Reyes is going to be a great piece to have here in Pittsburgh. Really excited. We finally got a nice offensively powerful threat, a real threat on the bases. Really excited to be getting into Framber Reyes. And on top of that, we're also going to be breaking down Tristan McKee. Tristan McKee, another splendid player to be having on the team. He's been a guy guy that has been absolutely solid. He's been a pure workhorse, really good stamina, really nice break guy. He's going to be solid in the major leagues for us. Currently in Cleveland, he had a 4.36 ERA, striking out 81 batters in 99 innings. The lanky righty, the 6'5", 23-year-old from New York, hoping to have things go his way in the black and gold now. Really excited to be having him. And one of the plus sides actually in Tristan McKee is going to be how friendly his contract is to us, because not only do we have him only for about $500,000 this year, we're going to be able to renew that contract into the 2022 and 2023 year, and then we also got him for 3 more years of arbitration. So we pretty much have Tristan McKee until the 2026 season on lock. Really excited to be seeing how McKee develops in Pittsburgh for us. And the final thing that we are going to be breaking down, well, I wouldn't even really say breaking it down on this one. It is the fact that somehow, the Angels have acquired third baseman Vladimir Guerrero Jr. for absolute peanuts as they send Andrew Heaney to the Blue Jays. He is going to be now a Blue Jay, where Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is going to be along the likes of Anthony Rendon and, of course, Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani. I'm predicting this is a team that's going to make it to the World Series. I mean, nothing else we can really say. That's a huge, powerful thing. Things are looking pretty crazy. And on other notes, though, the Pittsburgh Pirates, we finally did something else on top of the trades. We are going to be claiming left-handed batter Frankie Cordero in AAA in the 8 games he's played, has been pretty solid and has also hit 3 home runs in those 8 games. He was getting sent away from Boston. We said, you know what, we'll take him. We'll see what we can do with him. A nice guy to have on the side piece. Maybe he'll even be able to get called up into the major leagues at some point if he develops well enough or if he plays good enough and keeps being consistent. But with that being said, guys, that is going to end today's video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, and don't forget, if you guys did enjoy today's video, be sure to leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe for more amazing content, because only you can make a difference for the channel, so your support is always greatly appreciated. That has been episode number 22, a little bit of an all-star breakdown. Next episode, we're going to be getting into some gameplay against the New York Mets and a bunch of other series, so hopefully you guys stay tuned for those, and I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.